Sao Fan, you're next, inshallah. Hold up 1 second, Sao Fan. Ahlan, salam alaikum, akhi Murad.
Like, Sam, what are you saying? You good?
Alhamdulillah, how you doing, akhi? You good?
Good. So,
Tfaddal, akhi. One question, inshallah. I'm going to get another person on afterwards. Tfaddal, akhi. Bismillah.
cool. Question about. So I heard you talking about what makes a high value man and stuff like that, and I agreed with you in terms of the qualities of security, etc., and how they peak later on. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, in regards to young men, what would now be your advice? Because as you said, typically they won't have that high value.
Absolutely.
So what should be their approach, and should they be assessed relatively? Because Islamically we're meant to get young and stuff, like we're meant to get married when we're young and stuff like that.
Sure. That's a great question.
So what should be a young man's approach to being as high value as possible at an early age? And should the girl now assess him relatively and be like, he's doing really good for his age, rather than seek the security that a 40-year-old man might have? Or yeah.
That's a really good question. I'm glad you asked it, because this is important that we address this. Young men, with the exception of obviously wealthy young men, for the most part, young men have low sexual market value for the simple reason that it takes time to accrue financial stability, and that is something women value very highly. So if you don't have it, your market value is lower. It's not a knock. It's just, it is what it is. It's nature.
Yeah.
No, it is what it is. But women bet in two ways. One way that they bet on a man is, does he have it already? And another way that they bet on him is, do I think he will have it one day? Just like you put an investment in the stock market, let's say you put money in Tesla before it was Elon Musk was out last week, you would have made good money this week. You're basically betting on this individual based upon what I can see from him. Or if it's a stock, based upon the information I have on this stock, do I think this stock will increase in value over X amount of days, weeks, months, and years? Women do the same thing with us. They look at you and judge in two ways. Number one, are you set? Or number two, do I think you will be set? Because if they think you will be set one day, they're still willing to place that bet on you as well. So what's my advice to young men is, work hard on your purpose, whatever it is. I don't care whether if you're doing a degree, or if you have your own small business, or if you have a job. Don't be reckless with your money. Start thinking long term. And of course, you're a Muslim man, you want to get married young. Show a woman that you're a flower that's about to blossom. Show her that you're a flower that's about to blossom by focusing on your purpose, whatever that is. Does that answer your question, Murad?
Yeah. It does, but obviously at the same time, women, like as you said, like women are gonna have those expectations, and they're gonna seek out those things. So they're not always gonna. It's quite hard to show your purpose at a young age. Obviously, you're gonna have to be like within the minority of your age to be very driven. A lot of people haven't even discovered what they're really doing until their mid-20s to late 20s.
For sure.
So, yeah, it's just, yeah.
I'm going to explain to you how a woman can figure out whether you're on your purpose or not. I'm going to tell you exactly.
Yeah. It's quite ambiguous, yes.
Let's say you're talking to her sister. Let me tell you something. If she texts you and you text her back straight away, you failed. You failed. You know why?
I hear what you're saying.
You got so much free time that you can text me back straight away, and especially if you're repeatedly texting her back straight away, it means that you're not focused. Because if you were focused, you wouldn't even be looking at your phone. It's nothing to do with playing games, by the way. This is not gaming. I am so consumed in my work that I didn't see my phone for 6 hours. I'm like, here I am. I'm messaging you back now, but I was doing this for the past 6. That's how she knows.
A lot of people try and be that person, but they're not that person. Do you get what I'm trying to say? A lot of people be like, oh, let me reply after a couple hours, act like I'm busy. But you're never going to be that guy. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Unless you have that purpose.
That's true.
A lot of people
will try and hack it. People will try and hack it by like intentionally delaying, as you're saying.
Yeah.
But look, the fruits of your actions, they will reveal themselves in how you behave, in how you act, in how you conduct yourself. Just as I remember an excellent quote by one of the scholars. He said, to those people who say, don't judge me because I don't pray. Like, how can you say I've got low iman because I don't pray? His response was, if you had iman, you would have prayed. So the fruit of your amal, it will show itself in your behavior, your demeanor, your seriousness, people can sense that. It's like an intangible. You can sense when someone is going somewhere. You can feel it. And just as you can kind of tell when someone's dossing about as well, you can feel that as well.
Yeah.
Does that answer your question now?
Yeah, it does. And I just want to sort of elaborate on your point that you made about how people need to acknowledge and take responsibility for their own actions, because a lot of the time to others it could come across as victim blaming, and people need to step away from that mindset and take that individual responsibility and acknowledge it. No one's saying that what the other person did is wrong. It's not removing validation of like whatever happened, but it's that own, you know, at the end of the day, you can't control someone else's actions. And I've always said this. I've always had this mentality. Even if someone does me wrong, I've always thought to myself, hey, I should have analyzed that and noticed that beforehand, or I should have, this is the only way you could self-improve and like develop yourself. If you have that mentality
what you're talking about there is very powerful, because you take control and power back into your own hands. By constantly putting up a mirror and saying, okay, what did I do wrong? You constantly take control of your situation. You're able to influence it. Let's say you got ripped off. You gave someone £10,000 and he ran away with your money. He promised you X amount. He ran away with it. Okay. Well, instead of saying this guy ripped me off, put the mirror up and say, what warning signs did I miss? What red flags did I miss with this guy? He didn't actually show me the contract, or there was something off and I felt it. When you put that mirror up in front of you, you take back power. So that's an important point. Well, I'm going to get someone else from that. Jazakallah khair, Habibi.
Take care, yeah.